Welcome to Pride Against Prejudice, a Shadowrun 4th edition actual play podcast.
Hi, I'm Simon and I'm playing Huggy Bear.
Hi, I'm Al and I'll be playing Maverick.
Hi, I'm Jack and I play Toyga.
Hi, I'm Michael and I'll be playing Sunshine.
And my name is Rhydian, I'm the GM.
Nope, my name's Kerry and I'm the GM.
Hang on, wait, that's my job. Alright then, we have a guest GM. If you would like any bonus content, a link to our living campaign map can be found in the show notes, along with a link to our Discord where you can get occasional bonus episodes, and if you'd like to add locations to the map or just ask us questions, you're welcome to join us there. If you stick about for a few seconds at the end of the episode, we also have a question for you as well. The following content may contain themes and materials not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Before we dive into the episode, here's some pay data on another one of the Shadowrun podcasts out there for you to listen to.
You ever wanted to play Shadowrun? You know, the cyberpunk tabletop game where man meets magic and machine. It's too hard though, right? Too crunchy? Too clunky? It's a lot of math. Wrong! Pink Fohawk is a Shadowrun 2nd edition actual play podcast, played by the rules, but fast and loose, with all the 80s cyberpunk edginess you know and love, where the hair is big and the explosions are bigger. Follow the story of two rad Shadowrunners, making a name for themselves in the mean streets of 2053 Seattle. Tina Bonemeal, 9.5 feet of pure troll muscle, surveillance expert, and aspiring actress. John Anderson, former company man, with a resume shrouded in mystery and a black belt Nikito. Check out Pink Fohawk Podcast, available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
A mini-disc? What in the prehistoric formats do you want a mini-disc for? The team have managed to get a lead from Eddie, so now it's time to hit up a concert and see if the main act knows anything.
I believe where we left it off, Huggy, you were about to roll your gang knowledge, if I'm remembering correctly.
Right, yes, I have New York gangs specializing in talk gangs as a knowledge.
Yep, that works. Pleased to be rolling that.
That's 3 hits.
3 hits. Yeah. As you kind of make your way towards it, you notice a lot of the crowd outside the warehouse are sporting some fairly familiar looking colours. Amongst the sort of general metalheads and rock, you notice some distinctive jackets bearing distinctive black, pink and chartreuse colours of the Black Fangs.
Sorry, what was that third colour?
Chartreuse!
Green.
What the hell is a chartreuse? That is,
No, we won't.
That is a made-up rich people word.
Chartreuse is a real colour.
Yeah, they've got no fragging clue how to actually spell it, so anytime it's referred to in their like communications between each other, it's SHARTROOS, chartreuse. One of them heard it once and thought it was cool.
Chartreuse is a French herbal liqueur available in green and yellow versions that differ in taste and alcohol content.
It's also a horrible snotty yellow colour, and the pharmacist won't give you a cream for it. We will all march out of the dispensary en masse to point and laugh.
Predominantly it's black, but like their highlights are these colours, and they have flags up that look like that.
What are these people called? The Black Fangs? Black Teeth?
Black Fangs. The other thing, remember, is that Nabo was at the top of the tree for these guys, and that his lieutenant was an orc called Jaeger. As you kind of look at the crowd around, you can see numerous gang members lurking about. So are you heading in?
Might as well.
Quick question before we go in. This, what's his name? Nebby? Nebel? Naboo?
Nabo.
Whatever. Nabbles? Anyway. He quit gang leader-ing. Who took over? I remember there was something about somebody called, like, Jägermeister or something.
That would be Jaeger.
He was named after some horrible herbal tonic from Scotland.
Can you actually just roll me a memory check, please?
2 hits.
That'll do. You remember a couple of members of the Blue Chainsaws were wittering about Nabo. Going to say, you know what his name means, right? Nabo is short for Inabo. It's Ozet for pick of the litter or sexually hot.
No.
Also, that they knew that this show was going ahead, and they remember that they'd heard rumors that he'd put his best friend Jaeger in charge of security for the show. Which maybe wasn't the best move. Jaeger, he likes his Nova Coke a little bit too much, if you know what I mean.
So we have a coked-up head of security ganger orc whose best friend has made the big time and put him in touch with more Nova Coke than he could ever possibly want. If we go loud, it's going to go very, very, very loud.
Tiger, we're supposed to be stealing some fragging, like, ancient recording of, I don't know, like, this is basically the musical equivalent of the Dead Sea Scroll. I don't think we need to kill anyone for this.
I mean,
We don't need to kill anyone for this.
Mav, you're a bad person.
As you head towards the doors of the actual building itself, can I ask which set of doors you're heading for?
Door 1 seems to be closer to the road.
Yep.
Yeah, I go head for door 1.
Are you armed? Are you anything like that?
I've got a couple of hidden guns on me. A holdout and a light pistol, because I can conceal both of those.
Aggie has her taser on her, but is probably relying on not having to get into a fight.
I've got a heavy pistol and a taser. The heavy pistol is in a concealed holster and under a lined coat, so it is quite hard to find.
Okay.
I've left my knife and my sword at home, so I've just got... I'm armed but nothing but my razor whip. And the explosions I can cause with my mind.
So, as you guys go up towards the door, the guards outside hold up their hand, point over their shoulder at the sign on the door which says, "Please check all weapons into the coat check." These guys had mad scanners, so they do pick up on your heavy pistol and your light pistol. When you produce the taser, they just kind of shrug and go, "No, that doesn't count."
Tasers don't count. Cool.
And I believe the holdout doesn't get picked up by it. Yeah, so they don't pick up on that, but they do pick up on the light pistol. Or is that what your light pistol is?
No, I have two
Right.
guns on me.
Okay.
Come on, chummer. It's licensed. Come on. I throw up an ARO on them with my fake license credentials for the gun.
The troll scowls at you and goes,
Do you have any idea how many people are in this building this evening? I don't care if it's licensed. It gets checked.
Fine.
You can collect it on the way out again. Don't forget to collect it. Anything that don't get collected gets sold.
Yeah, chummer, you're not having my gun. Come on.
Them's the rules.
Can I go up?
Check it or go home.
Fine.
I was going to say, can I go up to the guy who's giving Sunshine bother and cast a spell on him?
Someone's going to wet themselves, aren't they?
Why do you always assume I'm going to make people wet themselves?
Why do you always make people wet themselves?
What are you
Okay.
doing to this poor unfortunate troll?
I'm casting Influence Mental. Mav, shut up. Force 5.
Roll it then.
Roly-poly. 2 hits.
You have 2 net hits, Tiger. What are you doing to this poor chap?
So Toygan just sort of leans around Sunshine and then, like, waves his hand in front of the guy's face and says, "The gun is fine to go into the concert."
The troll sort of stands there for a minute and blinks a couple of times.
Oh, frag it. Get in.
These are not the guns you are looking for.
We can go about our business.
You don't want to sell me Nova Coke. You want to go home and rethink your life.
but Nova Coke is fun. I'm just imagining Toygo like shuffling Sunshine through security now, and she's going, but. What?
Alright. So you are inside.
And Sunshine is armed.
And Sunshine is armed.
Hey, Sunshine, where were we in that cave underground and those weird drugs at your face? Did you keep the assault rifle, or did you pawn it, or what happened to that?
Well, yeah, no, I've still got it. It ended up in Huggy's van, and then she dropped it off a couple of days later. I haven't a frank clue how to use the damn thing, but, like, I gather it was expensive, so it's mine now.
Fair.
Could I get everybody to roll perception for me, please?
You could.
Is this visual perception?
Yes.
Somehow I doubt many of us will be making audio perception checks in here.
Yeah, no. Nobody is making an audio perception test.
2 hits.
That's 4 hits from Huggy.
I think that's a critical glitch.
It's not critical, there's a hit in there, but I've glitched.
So have I.
You haven't. You've only got 3 ones. I, however, have 4 ones.
Somehow.
Yeah, Mav and I have both glitched.
How did we both glitch on a perception check?
Sunshine, as you head in, you find yourself staring at a large troll's midriff, which is why you can't see anything except this large troll's midriff. And you find yourself both doing that sort of awkward, oh, sorry, and step to the left, oh, sorry, step to the right, at the same time as each other, until eventually Maverick pulls you past this large troll. Everybody else, so Toyger and Mav, you both notice that basically in this room you've got a massive makeshift stage at one end of the warehouse, on which you can already see Nabo is on the stage with his band, and they've started playing. It is loud in here. Like, you thought Club Infinity was loud. This is ear-splittingly loud. But he's pretty good, you gotta admit. You haven't really heard as much of his music till this evening, but it's pretty good. At the other end, there is a large bar serving soy beer and soft drinks only. You noticed on the way in there was a massive line of huge plus-size porta potties outside, but it smells like they've been there for a while, or at least their contents have been there for a while. They already smell potentially like a biohazard beyond that could possibly spawn its own things.
Gentlemen, I invite you to imagine a Turdis after a troll ganger has been in there the night after a Vindaloo.
I'd rather not, if it's all the same to you.
Invitation rejected.
There is a large black curtain hung from ceiling to the floor on either side of what appears to be a very hastily erected makeshift stage. You look at it and think, glad I'm not on that. It doesn't look entirely secure, but I guess it'll do. There's no seats. The whole area promises to become one giant mosh pit once the main event starts properly. Huggy, can you roll me a memory check first, please?
0 hits.
Yeah, no, you can't remember what his latest hit is at all. You were sure you'd heard it the other day, but it's just, you can't remember what the name of it is at all.
It's so loud in here.
What?
Huggy at this point has turned her ears off.
However, as you're pondering this, you spot over in the far corner, you spot someone that, frankly, can only be Jaeger. Standing against the bar, there is a large, muscular, outrageously dressed orc with bright orange hair, a large bioluminescent nano tattoo on his face, and numerous glowing piercings in his nose, ears, and lips.
Hello.
He's topless, but kind of tucked into his trousers, you can see the colours of the Black Fangs.
Stop, I can only get so erect.
Well, he's won the easiest to pick up out of a lineup contest.
Sunshine, put away your lady boner.
Quickly, before it arouses per maverick.
What am I your victim here, Tiger?
I mean,
Mavs from south, ankles is enough.
yes. You're grumpy dad, I'm bitchy gay cousin. Huggy is like favourite auntie.
Not sure if Professor to be offended or
Grateful it wasn't worse.
yeah.
Can I do a quick retcon or something? When I said he was on stage already, there's a sound check going on.
That's fine. There's a guy dressed up as him doing a sound check.
Yeah. The people doing the sound check are all wearing black shirts with Nebo's own logo on them, but you notice that a fair number of them are also sporting various items of clothing that are clearly Black Fang colours.
There's a lot of pink chartreuse screen around here, isn't
Yes, there is. There is an awful lot of it.
It's like you can see Gwen's parlour in here.
there? So Nabo's probably kind of busy with this concert stuff. He's put his second in command in charge of the arrangements of this.
Yeah.
Do you think if we go up to him and offer him an outrageous amount of money for a music disc, he would just hand it over?
One way to find out.
Right. First of all, Puggy is going to send out one of the spy drones to try and get backstage.
Okay.
While Huggy's doing that, Toyga's going to just have a quick astral peek about, see if there's anyone else magical kicking around.
Fair. So, can you do me an astral perception then, please?
Roly-poly. 2 hits. Shit.
The old roly-poly.
I'm just looking for wizards.
There appears to be a smattering of people in the audience that have maybe a little bit of magic. We're not really talking anything wild.
I mean, how many hundred people are crammed into this warehouse right now?
Many hundreds.
Because it's roughly 1% of the population.
Yeah. You are in a kind of a massive crush of bodies. Good estimate, 65 to 70% of the attendees are orcs and trolls. The remainder are made up of humans, elves and dwarves who are either into Goblin Rock or just want to be where the good party is. And largely the smaller folks here are hanging out at the edges of the room.
How many orc posers wearing fake tusks are there?
A couple. There seems to be a wee group of them sticking to themselves over by the bar.
Oh, those poor children.
You can already see that there are a couple of Black Fangs eyeing them suspiciously.
Well deservedly.
If anyone sees those stupid gits getting the direct kicked out of them later, try and save me some teeth. My abacus is looking very bare.
Sorry, what happened?
We're not seeing any orc posers being beaten up.
Right.
But if you do, I want teeth for my abacus. Just before Huggy does the stuff, I'm going to cast invisibility on myself and just disappear.
Okay, go for it.
This is not the most subtle place to turn invisible.
So I have 1 hit, so anyone who wants to perceive me has to get 1 hit on on a perception check to notice that I'm there.
So you're sort of fuzzy around the edges rather than invisible.
It's not even that I'm invisible, it's the way it works is it sort of makes you...
It's like people can't quite see you. Someone else is more exciting.
Yeah. Or anyone that saw me and was trying to recollect me would be like, human?
Fair.
Short?
Okay. You find that you're having to spend a lot of time now dodging out of people's way because they're not really seeing you properly. So you get your foot trod on a couple of times.
I'm just sort of making my way up so that I'm nearer the stage than I was previously.
Can I grab a drink? Are there any tables here at all?
You can lean against the bar. No, there's no tables. They've pushed as much as their stuff out of the way to give space for people. You might find a couple of pallets near the edge you could kind of perch on, but they're not really chairs or tables.
Rag. Okay,
It's a rock egg. They weren't anticipating people sitting down.
I go over to Mav and scream in his ear. Mav, I've got an idea! I could maybe see if I can get into someone's comlink and see if I can find the email!
Mav appears text-wise on your comlink saying, what?
Oh, right. Hi. Yes, that's a thing we can do. So, yeah, I mean, we know this guy who sent an email. I mean, I could try decking to... Why do we call it decking anymore? Not the 20 fragging 50 that we use as a deck.
The same reason that we still say the phone is ringing.
Greg says the phone is ringing.
Everyone says that.
Do you mean your comlink, chummer?
We still call them phones.
Yes, and I'm sure you had your maidservant bring you it on a fragging velvet cushion along with some, I don't know, caviar. Man, rich people.
Yes, Sunshine, that's a good idea. See what you can find.
Okay, I'm going to need somewhere where I can, do Matrix stuff.
Are you gonna go full unconscious?
Well, kinda need to, yeah.
She was a footman, actually, and the caviar was in a bowl, not on a cushion.
You're only making your point very slightly better.
Sunshine, come over here. You'll be significantly less danger with some bulk beside you.
Go stand near the corner, and we will pretend we are looking after our drunk friend.
Right, fine, yep. I literally just arrived at the concert, and of course I'm immediately already white girl wasted.
Free drinking is a thing people do, white girls.
I mean, given your size, it shouldn't be that surprising.
What you're calling white?
You called yourself?
White girl wasted is an expression.
Yeah, it means like... Remember that time you gave me hurl to see what would happen? That was white girl wasted.
Okay, that was hilarious.
Part of the reason why I need new teeth for my abacus.
The Sunshine doesn't actually know what an abacus is and thinks this is some incredibly fragged up awakened pet that you have.
I mean, it's an abacus made from bone, sinew, and strung with teeth, some of which are metahuman. It is probably quite magical.
That does sound like...
That is extremely cursed. Why do you own this thing?
Does this thing have a background count?
I think it does.
So, you've texted this to the group chat, and all you get is, I had a jar of teeth, and I needed the jar.
Tiger.
Mabby-boo.
Tiger.
Mabby-boo.
Let Sunshine work. You're being distractingly weird.
Okay.
Be weird later.
Okay, so I'm rolling Analyze. 10 hits.
Okay, so it takes a while. There's a lot of people in here. You find yourself sort of sifting through comlink after comlink, like, no. Dear God, what are you watching? No.
Public concert. You couldn't wait 3 hours.
Well, that's anatomically improbable.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that one before.
Someone appears to be doing... Oh, no, that's... Yeah, no. Okay, moving on. Moving swiftly on.
Running, screaming into the night to get away from it.
You eventually find the right node, and it becomes steadily very apparent that it's Nabos. It's not exactly subtle about how good he is. It's like... Once you're in, you realise that the first file on that's just sat open is a list of clearly he'd been writing a list of what he wanted in his dressing room. And you're like, really?
It's all sculpted to be all gold chains and guns.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh.
Does the list have a bowl of M&Ms with one colour removed?
Not quite, but you find that the guy has clearly no taste in alcohol. He just wanted soy wiser. and he wanted lots of it, and some Haribo. He wasn't exactly demanding the world from them. But, that was the first thing that you encountered on his thing. You're kind of digging around, you're going, hang on a minute. Typical rockstar brazenness. This guy has, next to no security going on this comlink. Yeah. Really, if you're going to be famous, you ought to lock your phone down a bit better than that, mate.
Oh, he's not, famous yet.
No, but he's steadily becoming it. And you'd think someone on his team would have told him that it was sensible to,
get a fragging firewall.
Why is this password?
He thought he was being a bit clever by putting a 0 in it.
Why has the W been replaced with a 0?
Nobody's quite sure. Can I get you to do computer plus data search for me, please?
Okay, I'm going to pre-edge this. Because I want to actually find this and not set off tons of security. 4 hits.
Yeah, you're absolutely fine. We've already established that this guy has no clue how to do passwords. One of them was password, where he had accidentally misplaced the W with a 0 instead of the O with 0. So you dig a little bit deeper in his comlink, and you find his email app. And you try password again. But that didn't work. So you have to rethink, and you swap it around. And instead, you discover that for his email, it's Drouse up Fang. Well, he tried, but password backwards with Fang on the end? Really? That's not that secure, pal. You're now finally into his emails.
Browse, yeah, roll browse.
Yeah, just roll browse again for me, please.
3 hits.
So there's a bunch of different emails in here. There doesn't seem to be anything related in his inbox. But then you spot that there's a little red number showing on his recycle bin, and opening that up, you find an interesting looking message. It states that there's some lost tracks from a legendary dead rocker that have become available for sale, and to respond to it if they're interested.
Can I see if he's responded to it?
He hasn't. You vaguely remember Eddie mentioned that Nabo was joking about how he didn't know Elvis was still recording.
Right. Can I see who sent this message?
You see, it's clear that whoever sent the email was trying to route it through a series of anonymous mail drops, but they weren't particularly good at it. After a little bit of digging, you find that the address traces back to a hacker who goes by the handle of Zipper.
Zipper, really? Okay. Wow, amateur hour stuff, this. Come on, Chummer, even I wasn't this green when I first started. Ugh.
Are you looking at anything else on the comlink?
Is there any pay data? Or, random data?
Roll me another browse to find out.
Yep. Only 1 hit that time.
There's not much that you can find. There's an app on there that looks like it might have some useful stuff in it, but oh boy, it is definitely secured by something stronger than his own passwords. It looks official from the little bit that you can see. It looks like it might be his records label branding on it.
Okay. I'm not going to push my luck any further, so I'll jack out at this point.
Yep.
Okay, Omaze. We've got a bit of a lead off this. Found his email with the offer to buy these lost tapes, or whatever the frag we're calling them, that'll lead to the rebel base or whatever.
I thought that was a good show.
I just don't know what it's referencing. Luna mentioned it a couple of times. I don't know, some weird old flat grid that she liked. There's probably some telenovela bollocks. Anyway.
I mean, you're not wrong. Do not want.
No, Jose, I am your father.
So you've watched last week's episode then?
I know, I was gagged.
Later, children, you find out who's selling this tape?
Maybe. I've got a name. It's a Decker who goes by the name of Zipper. who contacted Nabo.
You have access to Nabo's emails still?
And I jacked out. Sorry,
You could
chummer.
jack back in.
I mean, I could. Why?
Do you want to just send, like, I'm sending some people?
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you answer from him saying, like, arranging a meetup?
Can we say that I hadn't fully jacked out here to avoid rolling a lot of dice?
Yep.
Cool. I'll roll and edit the file.
Throw in some stuff like, I can't be seen to be buying this illegal property, so I'm sending representatives.
You're making this far too complicated.
Also, try and see if you can get him to not respond to his email again. Like, give it a private comlink number.
Yeah, so I'll say, okay, I'm sending some of my guys. You can reach
Tell
them on
them?
this burn. Huh?
Tell them where the meet is.
Well, it's how has Zipper phrased it in the email? Is it he wants to meet, or like, is he choosing the meet, or do we get to choose the meet?
You send off this email, and after a little bit, there's a ping comes back to the email that you spoofed it to go to. You said, like, reply to this one. So you're interested in the disc? Question mark.
Look, Ome, I'm not interested in this fragging thing. I don't give a damn about it. My boss is, however. So, and you know,
Well,
I work for him. So, how do we get this thing from you?
Best bet, I meet you at this little place called the Cathode Glow. It's over in Morrisania. You will find it on the corner of Trinity Avenue and East 165th Street. As you're going to leave the concert, because I'm assuming that's what you're planning on doing. Is that what you're doing? Or are you staying for the gig? Since you got tickets for it.
We might as well stay for the gig.
I mean, we paid good money.
Did we?
I email him back and go, okay, we can meet in either a few hours or we can meet tomorrow if that suits you better. We're
As you're doing that, a gunshot goes off somewhere near door 1, and you notice that the orcs that had been guarding the curtains by the stage are all sprinting towards the door 1.
What?
As people start to scream and panic.
Well, since all the orcs have fucked off, I might as well invade the dressing rooms.
Right, first things first, I am picking up Sunshine and putting her on my shoulders.
thank you, I don't wish to die.
And then backing myself into the corner to sort of resist any rush.
What the hell is happening?
Can you roll me an agility check? Yes, can you roll me an agility check? She says with a little bit more confidence than that question mark sounded.
Me?
All of you.
Ugh. Are we
Ugh.
resisting crowd?
Yep.
I'm gonna just go ahead and pre-edge this, because
So I'm just trying to stand in this corner. Can I go for strengths instead?
Yeah, sure.
Because strengths I can do.
oh boy, I only got one hit.
I have gymnastics as a skill. Could I use
Yep, roll that.
I will also use that.
Oh, actually, I also have gymnastics.
Yeah, roll for it.
I got one hit. Oh dear.
3 hits.
Are you still invisible, Poiger?
Yes.
Okay, maybe you want to drop that and roll it again.
Okay, 4 hits. That's better.
Can I post edge that?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. So I'm rolling 4 dice. One more hit, so I got 2 hits overall.
Okay. So, initially you get buffeted around until you remember that you're still technically invisible, so you hurriedly drop the spell and go... Someone goes, oh, sorry, didn't see you there, pal! And kind of elbows you out the way.
Right, I've got another strategy for avoiding the crowd now that I've dropped invisibility. I'm casting Levitate on myself.
Yeah, that works.
That's one way of dealing with this.
Yes, Iron Man out of the crowd.
Could I also get you to roll a perception for me, please?
Certainly.
Rising above the common rabble, Tiger.
As always, and I've still not taken any drain tonight. This is really good. I got 2 hits, so I can lift 400 kilos. How much does Toiger weigh? 85 of them on me. Just in the air.
Alrighty.
And now I'm looking down at the rabble and rolling perception.
Okay, roll perception.
3 hits.
You and Huggy both notice what's causing the chaos. You notice that there's a number of gangers wearing different colours from what you would have expected given this crowd appearing in the doorway. Huggy, can you roll your gang knowledge again, please?
Well, is that Trog gangs or just New York gangs?
Trog gangs.
So that's 1 hit.
They look familiar, but you're not entirely sure until you catch. So one of them turns slightly and you spot a very skinny-looking dog on the back with these giant tusks, and you go, "Oh, frag. That's the tusked whippets. Oh no."
The tusked whippet.
It was all I could come up with on the fly. Frag off.
You set a good precedent with the mauve spikers.
The tusked whippets are the main rivals of the Black Fangs, and it's them that have kicked off this fight. They managed to overpower the guys on the door and push their way in, and are now intent on starting an altercation with the Black Fangs. You spot up on stage that Nabo has been hurriedly removed from the stage by his handlers, who are... You look at them and go, "Hang on a minute, those are not gangers. Those are actual security. Those look to be part of the music label." Alright, what are you doing next?
So, everyone who doesn't want to be caught in gang violence, exit via door 2.
Yep.
Tiger, where the frag are you?
Look up XOXOXO. Have they run into the dressing room, or have they hurried Nava out to a waiting car?
You're not sure.
See the rolled up doors behind the bar.
Yep.
How secure are they?
I mean, there's an entrance door, like, right
Yeah,
there.
but there'll be people trying to panic out of that.
We're trying to panic out of that. 3.
The doors themselves look pretty sturdy, but the locks on them are looking a wee bit rusted.
Right. Sunshine, can you shoot that lock for me?
This is on the. Is this on the lock on door 2 roll-ups?
This is one of the roll-up doors.
Sure. Click clack.
Yep.
I sort of fly down and land on the bar.
You also notice that Jaeger, who you would have thought, given that the other gang had turned up, has actually realised that since he's in charge of security, he should probably also help people get out, and has jumped over the bar itself and is also wrestling with this door to try and get it open. Yeah, can you roll to shoot it then, please?
Yep. Sunshine runs up behind the bar and she ejects the magazine that's in her North America, and just Fennel's looking. She sticks another magazine in that has like a little band of red tape around the top of it, and then shoots the door. With double X ammo.
What is the damage value?
5 base, so 8 AP -1.
Sunshine, you are full of surprises.
It was a birthday present from Luna.
You should be friends with Luna. She gives good presents.
Yeah, so it sparks and hangs a little bit. It's loosened a bit. It's come out a little bit, but not fully.
I fire my second shot at it. It's semi-automatic.
Yep.
So that's 7 physical AP -1.
Yeah, it goes.
There's various like gunfire going on over at door 1 and like scuffles and fisticuffs. And then just from behind the bar, there's a like double
Wham! Wham!
bang followed by an outrageous flash. Because the rounds are explosive.
Jaeger sort of blinks at you for a minute and goes, Oh, frag. Yeah, that would have been way more sensible, and pulls out his Ruger Super Warhawk and does the same to the other door.
Right, and then I'm going to grab the door and roll it up.
Thanks, friend.
He sounds like the peasant from Warcraft.
Shut up.
Then I'm going to grab Sunshine and leave.
Yes, my lord.
He's not the smartest guy. He's trying, and he's like, get everyone out.
What?
Get who you can out, and I'll see you later. I don't know why he's got all Geordie, but he has.
Exit stage north.
Yeah, he dashes over to join in the fray, since like he feels like he's done his bit to help get people out.
Sunshine's just as she's getting hustled out between Mav and Huggy, so she's not getting trampled. Just quickly throws up an ARO above the door with like a large arrow pointing at it.
Yeah,
doesn't have time to actually write anything, but figures people.
Yeah, Huggy will be sort of grabbing Sunshine, putting her back on her shoulder, and muscling out as quickly as she can.
Yeah. Once you get out, you start to see that there are streams of people now kind of running for safety.
Right, at this point, I'm going to call Hansel and Gretel over to give us a bit of cover while we get back to the van.
Yep.
Are you just gonna hose this fleeing crowd?
At this point, you're pretty safe. The crowd itself is largely just trying to get away. You can see at the outside there's some of the tusked whippets still trying to get in, though not so successfully now that there's large streams of people streaming out of the venue. But mostly they're just trying to get in. They're not paying much attention to you. They're far more interested in the large punch-up waiting inside.
Shall we go?
You can hear the low whoop of what's possibly NYPD Inc. turning up, but you're not sure. It's in the far, far distance, and frankly, you don't want to stick around to find out.
Yeah, I've dealt with Lone Star more times than I want to. Which means at least once.
Shall we call our checked firearms a write-off and, like, get out of here?
Mine got not unchecked by Toiger.
Yours got unchecked. I'm down one heavy pistol. Is that it?
I mean, we can go get it if you really want.
That involves going into the gang fight. Let's not.
Well, we've been in gang fights before.
Let's see if we can get it back tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
What pistol?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You really think that Lone Star are going to not confiscate every single weapon that they find in this place?
What did you lose?
A slightly modded,
Ares Predator?
No, it's a Manhunter.
How much is it?
Manhunter and internal smart gun system.
It's 300 new yen.
Oh no, 600 new yen. I'll cope, even if I can't get it back.
Well, we can come pick it up later if you really want. Or we can wade in now. I've got gel rounds in the boys.
Let's finish the job, then worry about lost property.
Fair enough.
The job's worth more than that gun is.
Several times over.
Yeah, but I really kind of wanted to try out the links.
You'll get a chance.
Hang on, the other thing is, do we want the, what were these fraggers called? Not the whippets, the other lot?
Black Fangs.
Do we want the Black Fangs to do us a favour? Or do we not care?
I don't think we care.
I don't think we care, but it will be fun. The light of battle is clearly in Huggy's eyes.
As you're debating this, Eddie comes charging over towards you going, I think we'd best get out of here, pals.
Wow. Fine. Huggy throws up her hands, and Hansel and Gretel's weapons wind down.
What's that? The screen is slowly moving to the right?
Sorry.
I like scene change, I get it.
A little hook comes out and starts beating on Huggy.
The guns slowly turn on the person holding the hook.
Okay, doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo.
We get
Later
in the
van.
van, we drive to the weird plus-shaped buildings.
So I take it you're going to the cathode glow from what you're saying there.
Yes.
Cool. You looking up anything about the cathode glow, or are you just going to go and
What
turn up?
kind of place is it? Does it have a dress code? Sunshine, do Matrix things.
Can we just assume I can matrix and look up a bar?
Yeah. Surprisingly, you can't find very much about it, other than there seems to be a lot of chatter on a number of sort of shadow boards saying that it's been around forever, from what you can tell, and that your best bet is just to go, and that's really all the information you can find. Oh, and that it's a bit old school.
It's a bit old school.
Are we going to have to wear suits again?
No, it's a dive bar.
We're leaving. Yep. Oh, right.
Are you trying to find anything else out about Zipper at all, or are you just going?
I mean, I do have a contact who might know something about another Decker.
Is it Tin Hat? Because we're not talking to Tin Hat again.
It might be Tin Hat.
We're not talking to Tin Hat again. Are you really bringing Tin Hat into this?
Ah, tin hat. Those would be some good abacus teeth.
Look, I know the Fragger is completely crazy, but like he's a big name in the decking scene.
And he fragged up a job. And you're gonna have to pay him for this information.
Do we want to know about this guy or not?
If you want to bring that Fragger in again, you're paying for it.
Yep. So you decide, Sunshine.
How likely do you think it is that we could rope him in with the promise of payment being we will not dedicate our lives to hunting you down and killing you?
We never met the guy. He's a Matrix shadow. We'll never find him.
Guys, do we want to find out about this fragging guy or not?
As Huggy says, if you want the information...
Sunshine, I'm aware that your finances are in a raw state. If you need help paying this piece of shit, I will help.
Right, I'm calling him then. He's the only lead we've got right now.
If his information is unhelpful, we are hunting him down and making him into shoes. Look, there's no drones around, and there's no bodies of water for him to pilot their drones into.
You called?
Oh god, it's you.
I fucking didn't.
No, Sunshine called. It's all Sunshine's fault.
Guys, shut up for a minute and let me talk to him, will you?
Oh.
Hey, Tin Hat. So, yeah, I need a bit of info on another Decker on the New York scene. And, you're the only guy I know who might know. So, yeah. You ever heard of a guy who goes by the handle Zipper? Seems a bit amateur hour from what I've seen so far.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Yes. So, what did you need them for?
On a job, he's seems to have come in possession of an item that our Johnson once retrieved, specifically brought back to the Johnson who it was originally stolen from. This guy's been shipping it, like trying to shop it around for a little while, and we're just wondering if you can give us anything on the guy before we attempt to go for a meet. You know, what's his usual style?
I'm sure I can find a good bit of information about his style. So, what's it worth to you? I would think maybe 500. Saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, you said that the last time.
Hey, I put a serious spanner in their works. Trust me.
And our plan as well. I'm gonna rule negotiation and 5 hit. Yeah. Chummer, after the bull drek you pulled on that last run, we are not paying you 500.
Okay, that would have ended better. Hmm?
Can you roll etiquette, please?
Oh, right, sure. Well, yeah, okay, well...
I'll give you 100, and that's all you're getting.
Oh, Tin Hat, why don't you tell us your exact geographic location and we'll come and give you the 500 in person.
We'll give you 500 of something, certainly.
Okay, so tell you what, how about I give you the information, and that maybe covers up for the last incident. I realize it didn't quite work out to your satisfaction, so we call this one on the house, then call it quits on that one, and maybe not bring it up again, particularly that one bringing it up again.
I think that will...
Talking about me, Tin Hat.
I think that will work, Tin Hat.
Okay, so this was it Zipper you're looking for?
Zipper, yeah. Seems... I don't know, get the impression he's not been in this game for long, or if he is, he's not very fragging good.
She, for reference.
Oh, okay.
She's not that great, maybe. She hangs around at the cathode globe. It's a place for enthusiasts. Please, the dabblers in the shallow waters. More, bedazzled by old school technical egos than actually delving into the proper depths of the conspiracies that underlie the fundamentals of our society.
Oh my
if they
god.
really started to understand the beginnings of what, sorry?
Tin Hat, okay.
Right, okay,
we will find them at where?
At the cathode globe. It's
cathode globe. Okay.
It's a newbie bar. It's You'll find it there. There's all kinds of old-fashioned stuff, really outdated, like practically Stone Age. But so does that suffice?
Can you tell us anything else about this guy? Girl, sorry. I really should stop assuming old deckers are like sweaty neck beards.
Based purely on the 92% of them to whom that applies.
I mean, they're there almost every night, so you should be relatively easy to find them based on that information. Admittedly, the Zipper's not exactly a unique thing, so,
Yeah, do they run with
ask him, there 10 people might put their hands up, but I'm pretty sure this is the one you're talking about. Sounds like the kind of norm at end of.
Yeah. Do they run with a team? Are they likely to be alone?
My guess would be alone. Not really much for life, to be honest, outside of their little egos and that kind of stuff. I mean, if you got to focus on something, you really should focus on something like big issues.
Oh, Tin Hat, I could show you the underpinning realities of this world. There are things in there, things that have such sight to show you.
Can I talk to the friendly one again?
What? Me?
Oh, Tin Hat, I am the friendly one.
I'm really glad I'm not on this call right now.
We're all on this, guys, Huggy, because it's funny.
Hence why Huggy just said that.
Tin Hat is looking decidedly edgy.
So I go, you say you're the friendly one, and yet I'm literally watching you scribble Enochian.
Oh, it's just fuck Tin Hat in smaller and smaller circles. It's nothing scary.
Okay.
You guys might want to mute your microphones, just for the sake of my remaining sanity.
What sanity?
Right, okay. If that's all you've got, Tin Hat, I guess we can call it quits there.
Really? You're letting him go for that much information?
We won't immediately start hunting you down, and I will try and make sure that the shoes that Tolga eventually makes you into will be pretty.
It's not part of the deal. Part of the deal.
We are altering the deal. Pray, would you not alter it further?
Good luck finding them.
Oh my god, I need to get better contact. If I'm gonna be a fixer, I've got to replace him as a contact. My God.
Draft in odd Oxex for Bowen Neela Timhat.
What?
Okay.
No, don't explain. Let's move on.
So, you're heading to the cathode glow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Toygar, I'm pretty sure that only works if he uses this real name, which I don't think is Tin Hat.
It might be.
But he thinks it's his real name. He feels like it's his real name, and that's enough hooks for the spell to get into. Like, for about a week, and if he's shitting blood, tell me. But tell me to sit down first.
You know what? You know what? I am not going on to that sub-thread. I know there's the sub-thread, Ask My Street Doc. I'm not going on there.
I mean, the problem with that thread is the street dog inevitably says there's a chance it's cancer.
Oh, it's always cancer.
I thought that was lupus.
Both.
Okay. So, you'll pull up outside the cathode glow.
Thank you, Ember. Carry on.
So the cathode glow looks like it's been around for at least 50 years, and has been going downhill for 49 of them. As you walk in the front door, you feel a crawling sensation of suspicious glares from all around the room. This looks like the kind of place where old hackers go to die, and new ones go to worship them. There's ancient computer terminals and old-school cyberdeck equipment attached to the walls, the tables, the bar, even the floor. You could swear some of it dates back to the previous century, and all of it seems to be in working order. In AR, the place is even weirder. Each of the archaic devices is overlaid with bizarre active icon AROs that seem to be alive and watching you. An eyeball on a metal stalk cranes down from the ceiling and regards you dispassionately, followed by a monotone voice that crackles over your speakers. Help you?
Hey, nice place you got here. Yeah, looking to meet a contact here. We're told to ask for Zipper.
One moment. The eyeball kind of retracts for a moment.
We don't have to speak to it in Huttese, do we?
No. Looking around, the cathode glow is the kind of place that attracts people who think they're hardcore hackers. The guys and girls whose idea of a good time is spending the weekend taking apart old cyberdecks, laptops, terminals, comlinks, and any other techie toys to see what makes them tick, and then reassembling them, in theory, to make them better, stronger, faster, or at least if they could figure out how it worked in the first place. Its claim to fame is its large collection of working computer hardware, some of which really does date back to the 20th century. Old-style screens display everything from dinosaur-era amber text up to early Tridio, with nothing immediately newer than 20 or 30 years ago. Several console video games also dot the room. They're still moving, though nobody appears to be playing them. Sunshine, could you do a computer plus intuition, please?
Yeah, I can just run computer off intuition.
Yeah, could you do that for me, please?
3 hits.
You realise that, sure, there's a lot of old stuff, at least it looks old. There's a lot of actually pretty cutting-edge tech seeded amongst the dinosaurs here, although the newer stuff is a lot less obvious. You also all find that after a moment or two, an AR display pops up on each of your comm links, detailing any security vulnerabilities that you might have on your comm, as well as a helpful set of links to the appropriate software patches. And a message that says, might be a good idea to fix these as soon as possible to avoid potential intrusion by hostile parties.
That sounds like a scam.
I am fragging hostile parties.
Can I roll a judge intentions on that and see if I think that's legit or not?
Yeah.
2 hits.
It's legit. They do genuinely seem to be reasonable links. When you click on one of them, it does actually take you to an antivirus place.
I do not click on the links.
I lean over and have a look at Toyger's comlink screen and go, Toyger, oh my god, when did you last update the firmware on this? Like,
what is firmware?
Oh my god, dude, there was a digital product recall on this version of the OS.
Those are all certainly words. But look, if you do this, you can make little pictures appear and the little GIFs as well. Look, like Toyga's like a granny showing you that he's figured out how to work WhatsApp. Also, look, it's got Snake on it.
Hang on, didn't the GIF become unfashionable about 50 years ago at this point?
Yes.
Everyone uses TRIFs now.
I want that word struck from the record. It's far too correct. I don't like it.
Isn't that something you can get an ointment for?
No, it's a kind of plant.
That was
really
trending.
easy.
Also, look, Tetris.
I'm upgrading your comlink, Tiger. Have this 3310.
I have a Transys Avalon. Like, it's an expensive comlink. I just don't know how to use it.
Yeah, like you never updated the fragging firmware. Toyger, you must have actually disabled the automatic firmware updates to be running this older version.
What do you mean automatic? You just help hand you the comlinks. Make it work. Fix it.
Oh my
Later, we do not have that much time.
Fix it.
It's actually surprisingly quiet here, especially after the warehouse concert. Tables are spread all around the bar, arranged in small clumps and surrounded by comfortable chairs. Half the chairs are filled with hackers of various metatypes, all of them absorbed in whatever they're doing. Eventually, the eyeball comes back and kind of goes, Zipper, was it you said?
That's who we're here to meet.
Can you roll me an etiquette plus charisma test, please?
Yes.
Can I assist?
Yeah.
3 hits.
I'm convinced you will make it worse, Tiger.
3 hits, that's absolutely fine. It kind of swivels.
Hell yeah, first
like
impression
it's-
bonus.
Like it's it's scanning the room for a moment and goes, table in the far right. You can't miss her.
Thank you. Does Zipper know that they are supposed to be meeting a representative from Nabo? Or do they just think they're meeting someone?
What did we say in the emails?
Yeah, you got interrupted. You didn't actually send the response.
Ah, okay.
So hopefully, on the way over here, we're on the way.
Nope.
I mean, we could just go up to him and say, hey, we're the team Nabo said they were sending. What do you mean Nabo didn't send it? Oh, for Christ's sake, that man is barely techno literate. He makes Toyger look like fucking sunshine.
Alright. Let me take the lead on this one, Omaze.
Don't we always? Except when it's gunfight.
Zipper is an Amarant Asian dwarf woman with short, spiky black hair, synth leather jacket, and biker boots. She's sat with another dwarf woman. They each have drinks in front of them, and they appear to be playing some kind of game with their comlinks.
I wander over and go, hey, Zipper.
Yes?
We dropped you an email a while back. Said we were here about the item you had for sale.
That wasn't me. I was just helping out a friend. Out of town guy. He's
Chummer.
he's in Boston.
But relax. I pull up a chair and sit down next to them.
Could I get you to do a perception plus intuition test?
That's a perception test, yes.
That's a perception test. Okay, sorry.
That's fine. 2 hits.
Okay. She's looking a bit shifty. She goes, oh, frag it. What's it to you?
New yen?
Can you roll me a judge intentions hit, please?
Yep. Of course. 3 hits.
Yeah, she's definitely lying about not knowing anything.
Zipper, tell me, how long have you been in this game? She says Sunshine. Sunshine's just pulled out her comlink, is just ordering a drink. be sent to the table. You want anything? Zipper's friend?
The dwarf opposite. I was like, oh yeah, sure. Soywiser. Thanks.
Alright, Soywiser. Probably a soy calf for me. Zipper, what can I get you?
Oh, frag it. I'll have the same as Emily.
2 Soywisers and a soy calf. Tiger?
Do they have Myco calf?
VM, do they have myco calf?
I do not believe that mycocaf is a thing. So you're shit out of luck.
I made it up. It's mycoprotein coffee.
we got that.
I mean, that sounds like a thing that would exist.
I feel like that's probably one of those like really niche, weird kind of like, you know how you get like weird vegan products in our world?
Yeah.
It feels like it'd be one of those.
Sorry, we don't. We've got some soy free though.
Soy free would be nice. Not for like me, just for the rest of you.
It's extra, I'm afraid. Sorry.
How much extra?
10 new yen?
Here are 10 of my shiniest new yen.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So that's fine. Zipper kind of shuffles awkwardly and goes, "Oh, fine. I'm not being paid enough for this anyway. Look, I was asked to pass on those emails by a friend. They wanted me to send them through an anonymous channel. Okay. Look, I'll tell you. I'm sorry. Okay, my friend, he runs a bar called the Coda. It's over in Highbridge. Look, my pal, Kerwin Lomas. He's got this disc he's trying to sell, but he didn't want it traced to him. He wanted me to send out some anonymous emails and then handle the replies.
Okay, look, fine if you want to be a bit of an info broker, if you want to help make connections. Look, you need to cover your tracks a bit better, okay? If you're gonna get into this world, it was way too easy for us to trace you.
Also, giving us your friend's real name as sort of like reflexive fear thing. It's how you end up with substantially fewer friends. Do you think my name is actually Toiger? Do you think that's what's written on my birth certificate?
Well, these days anything goes, I don't know.
She has a point.
Look, Chummer, if you're wanting to... How long have you been dabbling in the shadows? And don't bull drag me.
6 months?
Yeah, I figured about that much. Look, as one newbie girl decker to another, at some point, get back in contact with me. I'll give you a number for a burner comm. I can help you out, try to actually get you set up a bit better, so that you're less likely to end up as a statistic. Okay? It's not going to be free.
Is anything free these days?
Well, see, at least you've got some street smarts. I just flicker over an ARO with a burner comlink number on it.
Yeah.
Drop me a line sometime next week. I'll try and fit you in.
Okay, appreciate that, like...
So, what did your friend, whose name we've completely forgotten, say you were to do with the replies?
Just to handle them, pass them on. Was anyone that wanted a bit more info? Apparently it's oh, you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but apparently it's some of Jet Black's music that's not been released.
Unreleased Jet Black music. Are there pictures of pre-cybered Maria Mercurial on there? Dunkelzan's saucy nude?
No.
No, just something else equally unbelievable? Okay then.
Look, whether it's true or not, the guy was paying me to send these.
Well, please will you give him our information, because we are interested in buying it.
Okay, I can try. Look, okay, I'll give him a call. She opens up an obvious ARO so that you can see that she is dialing, but it just keeps going to voicemail. Look, I don't know, he's just not answering. Like, best I can suggest, maybe you might find him at the Coda. Look, He runs the coda. He has the disc, but he didn't want it traced back to him.
That's fine, as long as he's willing to accept payment in exchange for products.
And if he's not, we can work around that.
I've done my bit, pals.
Yeah, you have done your bit.
Ah, frag it. Look, thank you for your offer. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Thank you, Sunshine. Yeah, like, just don't tell him I told you. I sent him.
Sure. Look, between you and me, though, he's probably going to figure that one out all on his lonesome.
I'm gonna assume that you're making your way to this coda place, unless you're not. Unless you're planning to do something else.
I think we're planning to head there. Where is it?
It's in Highbridge. Look in the dictionary for the definition of dive bar. And it'll have a picture of the coda. Located in a building that looks like it should have been condemned 10 years ago, its closest neighbours appear to be an abandoned barbershop on one side and a large rambling junkyard on the other. A neon sign above the door proclaims it to be the huddle of chipheads squatting in the doorway tell you that you're not going to be in for a 5-star experience. Don't step in the puddles of vomit as you go inside.
Oh, lovely.
Boiger leans into Sunshine and says, "Does that look like a Chateau Neuf de Tertangier in that huddle of vomit to you, or is that just the colour of that person's insides?"
I think there's probably just blood in that. Also, do you really think they sell that here?
That red colour, it's so iconic to the 2062 vintage.
Where the O is, it's just like sparking a little bit. The O doesn't light up, there's just showers of sparks coming off it. And
Oh,
that
lovely.
distinctive you get from a sign that's not working properly. Are you going inside? Are you wandering around? What you doing, folks?
Right, I'm going to send up Hogan to case this place.
What is that?
Hogan is the flyer drone.
Is there anyone working the door, or is there just like a pile of tripheads?
No, there's chip heads. You have to step over them to get in. They pay absolutely no attention to you. One of them goes, "Doris, I love you," as you step over her.
I believe we are casing the joint before we enter.
Okay.
Drag me.
The one that said, "Doris, I love you," I just sort of like gently lean down to her and say, "Doris has forsaken you forever. You will never see her beautiful face again," before I walk in.
Tiger! The frag!
How does your drone work? Like, where are you sending it? What are you doing with it?
I'm sending it on a general survey sweep of this area.
Okay.
I'm letting it do it autonomously.
Okay.
So that's one hit.
One hit. Alrighty. You get back. How does Hucky normally receive data from the drone?
It goes straight to the implant in her head, so she gets an update, a visual update in her cyber eyes.
So you can see beside the Coda Club there are two really, really ruined buildings. They don't look like they've been touched for a long time. They're covered in gang scrolls, and you don't really want to know what's in that pile of rubbish. It appears to be moving slightly. Probably best not to dwell on what might be in that pile. Behind the buildings, you can see a large junkyard. There are rows of orderly, flattened, stacked cars, about 7 meters high-ish, and the whole area seems to be fenced off. You're not sure from the visual feed you're getting whether there's a way through that fence or not. That would be something you would need to look at a later point, should you wish to. You're also getting a readout explaining that, well, you're getting a readout, but you can also hear it yourselves that there seems to be some folks inside the Coda Club that are shouting and joking jovially, and there's the kind of thud of a heavy bass line that you could swear wasn't a bad metal track, but it's difficult to tell. It's not really something you've heard before, but it sounds alright.
What was the name of the friend we were looking for again?
You're looking for Kerwin Lomas.
Super, thank you.
Before we go in as well, I'm going to have a look at what's inside, because I can see through walls.
You can see through walls?
Yes! I have a ultra-wideband radar sensor.
Roll me a perception?
I shall. 5 hits.
Hell above Maverick.
Bloody hell.
That was a lucky roll.
Inside, you can see 4 individuals. There's 2 orcs and 2 humans.
Right, and the one by the windows and the one with the different token are the orcs.
Yeah. It looks as disgusting inside as it does outside.
Luckily, looking through the walls, I can't see detail. I can only see shapes.
You can only see shapes. Fair enough. Good to know. You can tell there's some seating. You think that might be a pool table, a couple of tables, bar along the back wall.
So Toyga's going to just walk in and go up to the bar and start chatting to the bar.
Does this place have a bar as such?
You think that they don't have something between the people and the alcohol? Some sort of physical barrier?
Is it just Toyga that's walking in?
It's a bar.
I will be following him.
I'll
You
go
got the
in.
jump on me.
As you do, the room goes silent. Even the music stops. You lost Chummer. There's Trasher territory.
There's what territory, sorry?
Trashers.
Yes, I can see there's lots of trash, but whose territory was it?
Roll me an edge, please, Toyga.
Point of fact, while I'm distracting all of these people, you could all be sneaking, snooping around.
I believe we're all walking in behind you.
No hits.
I'm kind of waiting for something bad to happen to Tiger.
The orc to your left, he spins and pulls a knife on you.
That's not a knife.
Gross. What did you say, little man?
So at this point, Toyga just sort of I can't remember if I said that I had it with me, but Toyga's got that katana that he stole with him, and he sort of puts his hand on the hilt of it and says, "Mine's bigger." I really wish I had Intimidate, because I've got first impressions in Intimidate. It defaults to Charisma, doesn't it?
It does default on charisma.
The thing that I'm hoping is intimidating is that Toyga is 5'7", quite skinny, quite pale, and very obviously not afraid of you. And I get +2 because it's my first time beating all of these people.
Sunshine, do you want to roll your assist? How are you assisting?
So I'm gonna walk in, stand next to him, sigh, reach into my coat, pull out a Fischetti Security 600, just casually snap the folding stock onto it and turn the laser sight on and sigh. I get 1 hit, so Toyga, you get an extra dice.
So I roll 1 more. Rolling. No hits. Toyga just sort of peeks over his shoulder at Sunshine and says, "Where did you get that?"
There's a tense moment before the orc lieutenant lets out the loudest laugh you have ever heard and goes, "You've got balls. I like you. Come have a drink."
You're too kind. And so he just sort of plunks down right next to him, on the bar stool, but he's sitting cross-legged on the bar stool.
Sunshine snaps the stock off her pistol, and then the stock opens up and the pistol actually goes inside it. That's the holster. Turns the laser off and goes over to the bar.
Sunshine, that's by far and away the coolest thing I've seen today.
Thanks, Luna got me it.
Luna's good at presents.
Yeah.
Age will sort of trudge in and, ignoring everybody else, head straight to the bar.
This human chappie eventually kind of looks at the lieutenant, who's obviously the one in charge, and disappears back behind the bar. So goes, "Fine, what you having?"
Something strong. You got hurt?
"Yeah, we've got soy beer as well. It's her or soy beer. That's your choice,
I'll
Chana."
take hugs then.
Alrighty. He pours you an amount in a mug that you're not sure it's actually clean. You're not sure it's ever been clean.
It's Pearl, get clean now.
You've poured Hurl into it. It's now clean.
Well, it's not clean, it's now Hurg.
And you're not quite sure why the outside is sticky, and you think, probably I don't want to question this too closely.
So Toyo just sort of holds out his hand to the lieutenant guy who just threatened her with a knife and just says, "Nice to meet you. What's your name?"
The orc looks at you suspiciously and goes, G-Man, but doesn't shake your hand.
Disappointing. Anyway, G-Man, we're looking for somebody called Kerwin Lomas. Do you know where he is? Also, if any of you are Kerwin Lomas and you want to, make a run for the door and do, a dramatic chase thing...
Now's the time.
Could you give us a bit of warning first? Because I'm actually really comfortable, and I would rather not get up if I can help it.
Can you all roll me perception, please?
2 hits.
2 hits?
0 hits.
2 hits.
Wow.
I used all of my perception luck that first time.
Either that hurl was really good or really bad.
You notice that everybody sort of tenses up a bit.
I don't. I have my Hulk. I'm drinking.
Except for Huggy, who is far more interested in her Hulk, rather. You noticed on a couple of the normal gang folks that a couple of hand raisers have sprung from where they were normally sheathed.
Not a popular name, I gather.
And G-Man sort of shifts. You see him glance to his right a couple of times towards the back door.
What's happening through the back wall, Perry?
Currently, I mean, behind the back wall there appears to be. Are you looking?
Yeah, I'm looking. That was a below average roll, so I'm happy to roll it again. Below average, but that one was worse. Only 1 hit.
There's an empty office. There's a door into this main room, and there appears to be a back door, but that's about it. G-Man sort of straightens up a moment and goes, what's it to you?
We've been asked to regain possession of an item that he's recently come into possession of. That can be by peaceful means.
We are willing to pay for it, if we can talk to Mr. Lomas.
He's not here.
And where, pray tell, is he?
Can you roll a judge intentions for me, please?
All of us?
Just anybody who's sort of watching G-Man or at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Huggy don't, because you're too interested in your world.
Bugger me!
Lord Sunshine.
Bloody hell!
Those elves.
It's on 8 dice! 6 hits on 8 dice.
1 hit.
Yeah, okay. You can see that G-Man is sweating profusely, and his eyes keep flicking towards that back door, that back office. And you can see him toying with the knife at his waist, as if he's trying to decide whether it's worth fighting or whether he just can't be bothered. Doesn't ever like the little bragger anyway.
G-Man. If my colleagues and I were to make towards that back office, I'm guessing it's an office, it could be anything back there, would you feel particularly compelled to try and stop us?
He looks around at the other gang members, thinks for a minute before doing the universal sign for money.
How much?
100? He doesn't look like he's done this before. He looks like he's trying very hard to look big and tough and hard in front of the rest of the gang members, but he's possibly somewhat new at being a lieutenant, and he's not quite sure how to solve something without his fist, but he's clearly trying.
Oh, bless him, he's trying.
Tell you what.
That's 100. Mahaki will actually blurt laugh into her beer.
Yeah. Chummer, how about... What would a round of drinks run you and your crew in here?
Well, he lets us drink here for free.
Okay, but if you were paying customers, what would a round of drinks in here cost? Call it a couple of rounds of drinks in here isn't gonna go above 60 new yen. Is keeping us out of that back room really worth more than a couple of spilled drinks?
Are we really going to negotiate down from 100 new yen?
Huggy, I hope you put that on not open, like that was subvocal.
No, Huggy's going to say that out loud.
He goes, Alright. But, got to make it look like we tried, yeah?
Can I still see his knife?
Do any of you guys have guns on you?
Yes.
Huggy has her submachine gun on her.
He kind of looks at your submachine gun and goes, shoot that door, will ya? And then at least we can say we tried.
Huggy pulls out the gun and shoots the door.
Roll.
I fire a few across the back of the bar, like smash a couple of bottles.
Whoa! What's the beer, dude? Dudette, sorry.
Can I still see his knife?
Yes, you can still see his knife.
Can I cast levitate on the knife to like just lodge it in the ceiling?
Yeah.
Cast that at force 5 and got 6 hits. So he has to resist the threshold of 10, and I can lift up to 1,200 kilograms of weight.
Yeah, he tries, but he really, really can't hang on to it. It buries itself well and truly in the ceiling. Although, after a moment, there's a bit of a creak, and then part of the ceiling panel falls down with the knife embedded into it. And he sort of looks at it and looks at you and goes, "He went that way, out the back door."
Well, your boss definitely can't claim you didn't put up a good fight.
Huggy at this point has already kicked the door in.
Mouthfuls.
So when you get into the back office, the back door is wide open, like somebody's left in a hurry.
Right, sends drones out to find them.
Fly, Huggy's pretties. So he's somewhere out in this yard of scrap.
Can I summon a watcher and send it to go look for it?
Yes, I think so. Though you would need to know what he looks like, and I don't think you know what he looks like.
I don't, but I can give it a vague instruction, and that can like give us directions to work on.
Tell them to look for someone who's running away.
Incidentally, Hansel and Gretel are loaded with gel rounds.
What, are you being nice to this poor guy if you have to shoot him?
We want him alive so we know where the thing that he nicked is.
Indeed.
I grab out my pistol, put the stock back on, and pull out a mag that has red tape on the bottom of it, and put in a mag that has blue tape on it.
So you said that you were sending up drones to
search the scrapyard.
Are you sending them in a pattern? How are you doing it?
So first of all, I'll send all of them in fairly high at first, just looking for movement.
To be honest, can you roll a perception, please? Actually.
So Hürgen is the main one, being the primary scouting drone. So that's 3 hits for Mönen, 3 hits for Hansel, 1 hit for Gretel. So that's 7 hits total. So for Hürgen, I'm rolling +7. That's 7 hits total.
It takes a while as the drones sort of fly backwards and forwards. They're basically flying a grid pattern. You notice as they're going up that one of them seems to be reporting back that it looks like there is fresh blood. It starts at this sort of pile of junk, and you can see it continues up. One of the drones starts to follow the blood pattern.
Right, so as soon as I start getting that trail, I send the data to everybody else, and I get into my cocoon. I head back to the van, get into the cocoon.
And I will start following the blood trail.
The other thing it reports that there is a small gap in the fence. The junkyard is surrounded a 3-meter high fence topped with razor wire, but one of your drones reports back that there is a small hole in the fence.
Smell. Oh. Is that... Are we outside the fence?
We are outside the fence.
Right, so we need to get in there. How big a hole in the fence is this? Is it a small hole or a big small hole?
It's enough for a human to slip through. Larger folks may need to stretch it a bit further.
Luckily, our larger folk is not coming this way.
It's a chain link fence. It's not particularly secure. It's a junkyard. They didn't really feel like they wanted to keep lots of people out. It was more a maybe don't suggestion.
So I'm going to cast levitate on myself because I want to, and just fly over the top of that edge, over the top of the fence.
Okay.
and try and keep myself where I'm at, sort of like a safe altitude. But I'd be able to see if anyone was running about. Let me roll my dices.
When you say a safe altitude, are you going to be higher than the stacks of vans, or
About level with them.
what level with them?
4 hits, so I can lift 800 kilos. Toiger weighs...
A pent for that.
Yeah. Let me roll to resist strain.
You can lift small cars, Toiger.
Are you eyeballing with this trail of blood now, or are you relying on the data from the...
I am. I assume the drones are also, following it. The drones
Yeah.
are ahead of us in following it.
Is it quite fresh, this blood?
Yeah.
So it's probably still... Can I sense the blood, see if it's still glowing with its owner's juju?
Is
I don't
blood
know.
evidently alive?
I think so.
Blood doesn't have essence. It's
No.
just blood.
If you are sensed, you might get a...
How old it was?
It's more, you might get a little bit of a background count, not enough to impede you, but a sensation of what the person was feeling, that kind of thing. So, Toiger's dabbling in hemalurgy.
I would advise against it.
Thaumaturgy, surely.
Yes, he'd be hemathurge if he was doing that. And no, he won't be. The abacus is bad enough.
There's no such thing as evil magic. It's just power and how you use it.
Ask the bug spirits that.
Is there an obvious cause as to why this blood started?
The sunshine going the other way down the trail as some of us go forwards up it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back down, try to find out. Why did this guy start bleeding?
How much blood is this? Is this this guy is in, danger of bleeding out, or is this splashes?
It's a little bit of drips. It's enough to see that somebody is bleeding, but they're not sort of bleeding to death.
Yeah.
It is pretty dark. We're looking at 10:30 at night at this point.
How many of us cannot see in low light?
Yeah, I've got low light.
Dogger, do you have a light vision?
No. 5 spirits.
There's a wee bit of light. There's some lighting around the edge of the fencing,
But not a lot here in the middle.
but not here. It looks like they maybe used to be quite powerful floodlights, but the years have not been kind to it, and they've not been particularly well maintained. They're a bit of a grubby... the really old orangey lights that you used to get?
Sodium street lights, those still are a thing in Shadowrun.
Ah! But the
Yeah.
really old ones that are kind of grungy and don't really give off much light.
They
Yeah.
just give the sleet an awful orange glow that washes out all the other colours.
There's that kind of lighting around the edge. You'll follow in this blood trail then,
Mm-hmm.
which looks like it doubles back on itself briefly. It looks like the person who had it stopped for a moment and just dripped before carrying on.
Did I manage to find what caught? Did they cut themselves on a bit of metal?
Yes.
Or... Right.
So this initial tile that you're currently still stood by.
Yep.
There is a nasty, rusty piece of metal sticking out at just about shin height,
Ugh.
Oh,
and there's blood on it, and it's clearly somebody caught their shin upon it.
ow. I hope
And there's scuff marks on the ground where it looks like they kind of sprawled their length, then got back up again in a hurry.
I hope he's had his tetanus shot.
I was just about to say that.
I have no idea if he has or not.
Right, I'm having Hansel and Gretel are flanking Mav as he goes forwards. And Hürgen and Mönen are flying high enough up so that they aren't obvious targets, but close enough so they've got a decent view of the ground, helping to track the blood.
Can you roll perception for the fly spy, please, since that one appears to be in the lead?
Certainly. That is Mönen. So there we go, 4 hits.
You pick up the sound of voices. So you pick up these chaps who are in street clothing, but hold themselves like they know what they're doing.
Right.
There's some low-key armor on display as well. As you listen through the Fly Spy's microphone, you hear a loud voice say, "Give it up, Kerwin. You're surrounded."
Thank you for spending some time with us and listening to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. In the meantime...
Oh, so when she takes over the show, it's all fine and dandy, but I break one window, one time... Ah, no, not
Press off, you little Drexdane! Oh, my window! So, Tusk Whippets. Hell of a name. What are you lot calling your Go gangs? Let us know on our Discord. Also, if anyone knows a glazier, please let me know. Intro is More Human Than Human by Carl Casey, and the background music is also by Carl Casey. Outro music is Neon Thrills by Luck Hash, and all sound effects are credited in the show notes. The Tops Company Inc. has granted permission to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any other proprietary material for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Pride Against Prejudice podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. All other works mentioned in this podcast remain the property of their respective owners. The Pride Against Prejudice podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license, so if you want to use any part of the show, please give us the credit. See you next time, chummers.